Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today for Manosphere Highlights Daily. This is what a low-quality woman looks like. Please like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow time.
Yeah, it doesn't, like, I don't think women go after sex thinking it's, oh no, like this is a bad thing, I'm devaluing myself. We don't look at it that way.
How do you look at it?
I look at it as in, like, if I feel like it and it's the time where I want some company, or I don't know, I'm horny. If I'm horny, you know, there's no taboo on that word. Women also feel horny.
Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. Before we dive in, let me remind you that the conversation we're about to highlight is best had on podcast or in educational settings. Do not try to save these women or convince them to make better decisions. You're wasting your time.
100%. I tell you guys, I go to the cafes and stuff, and I'll meet women and stuff. I listen to their conversations and I listen to what they have to say, but I don't really give them that much advice to how to fix things because they're not going to do it, and nor do they care for that advice. I'm just picking up data in a sense of how I can use certain women to, like, oh, you might be good for my future podcasts and things like that.
Recognize these red flags and
run! Get to the chopper!
Let's listen to what low quality women, LQWs, are really about, so you can see for yourself.
Should
a man even ask a woman about her body count? How do y'all feel about that?
I don't think so.
I would respond that with a question, why does it matter?
Why you say that?
Because it's almost like you're equalizing a number to the value of a woman.
Okay, I'm not gonna say nothing because it's not about me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But a lot of men do feel like if a woman has like 10 or 20 bodies, right? That means she's a, you know what I'm saying? She's a whole, or she's that. So tell me why it shouldn't matter, or why a man shouldn't even ask.
That's basically what she just said, though, that a number doesn't define anything to you.
Exactly. So why?
Why it doesn't define it?
Yes.
Because it's about me and I say so. I'm a woman.
It's about me. I say so. And I say, no, it doesn't matter, but I'm not going to share it.
And I feel like we can all just be generalized the same way that men be like, oh, you can generalize all men about this or about that. You can't just put us on the same pedestal and
red flag alert.
No. This isn't about you. These are words of a classic LQW.
Yep.
A quality woman understands that a relationship is a two-way street. Both people need to bring value to the table, to the relationship. A high-quality woman knows that a man's commitment lies in a woman's exclusivity. If you've been run, sprinted through by Chad and you're not special. And if you're not special in a man's eyes, don't expect special treatment. A high body count might not matter to women, but it does to men. If you don't care about men's preferences, don't expect men to care about you.
nothing for you. You can't just put us on the same pedestal and judge because of a number of past sexual relations that you have with someone. Things like that just happen. It depends on the age.
It just happens, guys. Just happens.
It depends on the maturity. I feel like sexually, I was a different person back in high school, for example, than I am now.
So you're saying there's phases, right?
Yeah, you can change. You can't judge my whole self and my actions at that moment.
Yeah, like just a number,
It's just a number. At least this one's staying quiet. The one on the side right here. I want to see what she has to say.
An LQW doesn't see her body as a temple. Letting multiple men affects that temple in ways you might not feel in the short term, but the long-term impact is real. Depression, anxiety, and increased difficulty forming emotional bonds are just a few consequences women face when aging in casual encounters.
A lot of women, they lie. So if I met you today, right, and I say, you're beautiful, I like you, I want to get to know you more. How many people have you been with? You might say 3. You know what I'm saying? And we all know that's a lie.
But I feel like
Yeah.
the lying is because at that moment we're just
It's because you know it matters. Don't try to make any excuses for this. You know it matters. That's why you lie.
we're just trying to say something they want to hear because we know how men are.
Then don't be mad at us when we say things that you want to hear, because we know the things you want to hear. The sweet, sweet nothings.
I mean, J. Cole actually, well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that,
ahead.
can I? Yeah, J. Cole made a line saying that, you know? Like, talking about, he asked her for her body count, she said 3, now you gotta multiply that by 10, like, well, multiply it by 3, like, I feel that because it is such a weird concept to deconstruct, you know, even now,
It's not.
and in a society where we do have hookup culture, you know, it's like what she said. Some girls just respond with how they think
You have to be realistic.
they want to
about
hear,
it.
you know.
Men have to be realistic about like just how things are. I mean, you can't do something and act in a certain way and have your friends act in a certain way and expect women to act the opposite just because we need to maintain our posture or something like that.
Okay.
No, if it's like men, if men want to do what they want to do, they're gonna do it, right? And not be scared of anything, of being judged or something. Why?
But you judge us. That's the thing. Society judges. You judge us. If we are not Chad Tyrones, then we better be making good money. We better be good, somewhat decent looking and somewhat charming. But no, that's not the case, is it?
Why? Because we don't really judge you guys for that.
The LQW embodies a walking double standard. She will recognize biological differences between men and women only when it benefits her, her agenda, her values, but she will be the first to cry foul when men stop playing the traditional roles that benefit her. Just watch this.
Either side can get their feelings hurt. Like sometimes
No, that's not the point. We're saying if you go out to a club right now, right, and you meet somebody, and y'all end up having sex, is there emotion? Are you emotionally attached to the person?
Like basically, yeah, but when
These are the worst, guys. The ones that can sleep around like that with no emotional attachment at all. Get to the chopper!
it comes to cheating, I would say yes. That if a man is not providing what he needs to provide for his woman, she's gonna go look for that somewhere else. Like something that I realized the other day is like a lot of men nowadays, they want to have you to themselves without any title, without any like commitment involved, you know? But they don't want you to go out there and be with anybody else.
That's how men have always been. You're the ones that didn't want to put the titles and the commitment in the first place. That's why men are moving this way.
Okay, that's fine. They want you all to themselves, but they're not treating you like they want you only to themselves. Like you can't treat me like how you're treating everybody and expect me only to want to be with you.
No, to give you. Yeah,
That doesn't work like that. So
See what she just did?
if a man is not providing what he needs to provide for his woman, she's gonna go look for that somewhere else.
Ask her to clarify what a man needs to provide for his woman. Ask her to clarify that special treatment. We all know the foundation is... Show me the money! Women come online complaining about men not taking them on dinner dates, calling men cheap, and accusing them of just wanting to... But that's what you get when you don't hold up your end of the deal. If you're not a traditional woman, don't expect traditional treatment. Fluidity and flexibility will come back to bite you. Cause and effect, plain and simple. If women don't owe men anything, then men don't owe women anything either.
So yes, I do think that if a woman goes out there to cheat, they don't necessarily think about it as like, oh, I'm just gonna, get a nut in, to say it like that, right?
Okay.
Exactly. You're explaining it exactly how men have always explained it to you. Yes, you guys are cheating with emotions. You're cheating for something better. You're cheating for hypergamy. We just want a nut off.
For women, it's not really like that. For women, it's like if she's with
For
a
you.
person, if she's in love with
How
that
do you think
person.
for you? Because I don't agree.
Well, yeah,
You don't agree?
yeah, I guess for you.
Why you don't agree?
Because I can go out there just to get a nut in.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel like I'll go. Like I don't.
Yeah, but they're saying And like in a way of cheating, like
I don't know
women
because I've never been in a relationship. I think that's I have never.
I've never been in a relationship. That's why I can just cheat left and right because, I've never had titles like that.
Okay,
Like some.
You've never been in a relationship, or
I have.
you have guys that thought y'all was in a relationship?
No, I have never been in a relationship.
That's insane.
Yeah, I have never. Well, I got here really late, so.
Okay.
That's true. You haven't, yeah.
That's insane.
I have never had a boyfriend. Like this is my boyfriend, So
Okay,
I
so-
think it's hard for me to answer that.
So
Hookup
Been ran through.
culture has these women thinking
And she's a bigger girl, so really ran through.
boyfriends aren't necessary, but it's twisted. This woman has more bodies than she's ever had boyfriends. But if she's giving you what you want without the title, why would you make her your girlfriend? Why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? LQWs are using sex as a coping mechanism because they can't handle the pressure of being rejected or disappointed by Sharon. Remember the video we did about the woman who was crying about being a slut? Roll the clip.
Let me be clear. Being a slut and sleeping with a lot of men is not the only behavior I regret. Even more damaging was what I told myself in order to justify the fact that I was disposable to these men. I told myself I didn't care. I didn't care when a man ghosted me. I didn't care when he left in the middle of the night or hinted that he wanted me to leave. The walks of shame, the blackouts, the anxiety. The lie I told myself for decades was, I'm not in pain, I'm empowered.
This epiphany hits when the wall knocks them into oblivion. It's all roses and sunshine in their prime, but those hookups hit differently in their late 20s and 30s. And once they reach their 40s, their stories take an even darker turn. LQWs don't see this coming because they live in the moment. Right now, they feel empowered. But let's see how empowered they feel when the wall comes crashing down.
Yeah, it doesn't like. I don't think women go after sex thinking it's like this is a bad thing. I'm devaluing myself. We don't look at it that way.
how do you look at it?
As you should look at it that way because that's how we see it. If we see it this way and you don't, you're just screwing yourself over.
I look at it as in like, if I feel like it and it's the time where I want some company or I don't know, I'm horny. If I'm horny, there's no taboo on that word. Women also feel horny. So if we want to go and have sex with somebody that we have been feeling like having sex with, that's not like, oh no, look at what am I doing with myself? Like, where am
like I'm adding another number.
That is not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing. Sex is not bad, guys. Sex is natural.
Our issue
You're right, it's natural, but it is a bad thing. It's made for procreation purposes, not for self-pleasuring purposes. This is why it's weird that we went from really only using or having sex that's so coveted. It's like, oh, sex is the best, like we put it on a pedestal. We shouldn't be doing this unless we're in a committed relationship. To now, oh, it's a normal thing. Everybody has these urges. Yes, you're right. Everybody did have these urges, but they also fought against the urges and were good people because they didn't want to further the degeneracy of the rest of society with their own self.
isn't women sleeping around. It's the double standards. It's the quest for supremacy under the guise of equality. The refusal to take responsibility for foolish decisions. The blatant disrespect toward men. The misuse of the system for selfish gain. Rather, that's putting innocent men behind bars for not paying child support for children that aren't theirs, or falsely accusing men of crimes they didn't commit. They're asking for premium prices for damaged goods, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's why this space continues to grow. It's a space for men's issues. We don't always agree on everything discussed here, but there's one thing we all share. One thing we all recognize when we look in the mirror. One thing we all feel deep down in our blood and bones. We men, ain't we? See. And as men, you come here to listen to all, but follow none.
Damn right.
He don't want to go to the same club and 10 guys see you and say, okay, yeah, I had it before. He wants somebody that's You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know, I get it, but I don't look at that question. Oh?
Find a different club.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
We are the same.
Now, can I get a drizzle, drizzle?
Drizzle.
Watch and study this video, guys. The low quality women out there. You guys still fall for them. I still fall for them because there's some of them are still good looking. And you know us, we're just visual creatures. We just need to be able to understand that the vision, the visualness that we see doesn't always translate, right? So protect yourselves at all times. Please like share down below. I really appreciate that. You guys